Matilda Jane, written by Gerrard, illustrated by Gerrard. It astonishes me, said Matilda Jane, as the family rushed toward the train. They know I'm little and can't run fast. They go on ahead, and I'm left at the last. We were hustled and pushed by the hurrying crowd. I'd have stopped for a rest, but I wasn't allowed. We climb into our carriage. We're off to the sea. Mama and Papa, my nanny, and me. It astonishes me, said Matilda Jane, with nose pressed flat to the window pane. As puffy and chuggy the train goes along, the clickety-clack sounds just like a song. I kneel in the corner close up to the glass and gaze at the cows in the fields as we pass. Those girls over there are waving at me as I sit on my train on the way to the sea. It astonishes me, said Matilda Jane, as the horse and the carriage stopped in the lane, how all in the space of only one day we have managed to travel such a very long way. Our house by the sea is tall and so white, and the brass on the knocker shines very bright. The driver jumps down, lifts our bags to the floor, and we climb up the steps to the big blue door.
Matilda Jane was astonished to see that Mrs. Jones had made their tea. How did she know they were going to arrive right on the dot at 5:30? There was cake and jam and toasted bread. There's plenty more, the landlady said. Then a walk on the prom till 8:30. Matilda had never been up so late. Matilda Jane said it astonished her that, as she stroked Mrs. Jones's big marmalade cat, sometimes he's so friendly, sometimes he will purr and rub up against me with soft silky fur. Then he arches his back, and without any cause, he stiffens and stretches and puts out his paws. He stalks down the hall with his tail held up high, then sits at the window and stares at the sky. It astonishes me, said Matilda next day, as they sat on the beach and looked out at the bay. I wonder wherever the waves can come from. They sometimes come rolling right up to the prom. It's exceedingly strange that they all go away. It seems that they do it most every day. I think when they go, it's ever so grand, for then we can play again in the sand. It astonishes me, said Matilda with glee, the way grown-ups look when they enter the sea. With their trousers rolled up and their skirts held up high, it's hard not to smile or to laugh, but I'll try. There are bathing machines at the edge of the sea. We walk down the steps, both my nanny and me. I paddled my toes as the ripples come in, then go into the water right under my chin. It astonishes me, Matilda Jane thought, that though hundreds and hundreds of fish have been caught, there seems to be heaps every day just the same. In fact, quite as many as when we first came. Where do they all come from? Where do they all go? I asked an old fisherman, but he didn't know. He said they're from China or even Peru, but somehow I don't think his stories are true. Matilda Jane was astonished to hear the sound of a band as it played on the pier. Mama and Papa took hold of her hands as they hurried along. Papa loves brass bands. The bandsmen were splendid in red and gold braid, and Matilda was thrilled with the music they played. There are trumpets, trombones, and drums and bassoons. Papa tapped his feet as he hummed to the tunes. It astonishes me, Matilda Jane sighed as she stood at the pier and looked over the side. My nanny says mermaids live deep down below, but we never can see them, so how does she know? She says that they live way down there with the fish, and no matter how much that I dream and I wish, they will never come up to be seen on the land. Why are they so shy? I just don't understand. It astonishes me, Matilda Jane thought, as they bounced along in the tram car they'd caught. The car leans and lurches, and rumbles and whines. It sways round the corner, yet stays on the lines. Down the hill we go fast, just suppose the brake fails. The tram might go speeding and fly right off the rails, and run down the pier, and fall in the sea, and sail on to China, my nanny and me. It astonishes me, thought Matilda Jane, that grown-ups will make me come in from the rain. I can't understand. We got wet in the sea, and Nanny packed lots of spare dresses for me. But Papa said no, and he meant what he said, so I think I'll go upstairs and read in my bed. Rooftops that shine in the rain. I wish it will stop and we go out again. It astonishes me, said Matilda with sorrow, that alas we shall all be back home by tomorrow. It doesn't seem long since we've been off the train. It'll be a whole year till we come here again. Goodbye to the pier, and the sea and the sand, and the marmalade cat and the jolly brass band. How time seemed to fly with the things that we've done, and the places we've seen. Oh, but it has been fun. It astonishes me, Matilda Jane grumbled as out of her bed the next morning she stumbled. They've packed all the cases, they're ready to go. I'm hardly awake, but they say I'm too slow. Now Mrs. Jones waves as we leave for the train, and she says she'd be happy to see us again. I thought yesterday that to leave would be sad, but today, traveling home, I'm really quite glad. It astonishes me, Matilda Jane said, when she finished her prayers and climbed into bed, that the moon that is shining at home upon me is the same moon that's shining right down on the sea. It's nice to be back in my own little bed, with thoughts of the seaside going round in my head. I remember the seaweed, the shells, and the foam. It was grand at the sea, but I'm glad to be home.